get started. The nice thing about having you guys in small is, we get to work out any tweaks that we have in the presentation, and you can ask questions, so at any point. Wherever.
Anywhere, wherever you want.
And and it's being taped by Sandwich Community TV, so it'll be on, it'll play again. So that's good news. Make sure everybody takes an LED light. Or two.
I'm gonna charge us $4 today.
Yeah, no, they just bought them yesterday, but these are giveaways. So welcome. I want to thank the Sandwich Energy Committee for hosting tonight's presentation called Putting a Freeze on Your Energy Bills, Why Prices Are Increasing, and what you can do as a residential or business customers to help alleviate high prices. My name is Maggie Downey, and I'm the administrator of the Cape Light Compact, and with me tonight is Phil Moffitt, AIM&V, Vault Manager for the Cape Light Compact, and we're going to shift or switch halfway through the presentation, so I'll do the first half and then he'll do the second half. And as I go through the slides, please ask questions if there's something that I'm confusing you on, or it's not clear, or if you just want to talk about, just let me know. So, it's been on the front page of all of the papers locally that electricity prices will be increasing this winter. Everyone's prices will be going up depending upon who your provider of electricity is. Rates may double for the upcoming season depending upon where you are. National Grid announced a rate. They have a different procurement period than us here on the Cape, but they announced over a 16-cent generation charge from November through April. NSTAR announced, I think, almost a 30% increase. The Cape Light Compact rates will be going up. We're in the process of finalizing them now. So you will see this change for the Cape Light Compact starting on the December bill, because our pricing period goes from December to the price would be the July meter reads. And anyone not either on the Cape Light Compact's rate or NSTAR's? Is anyone on a competitive supply rate other than one of those two?
I'm not sure now. I don't have either.
Dominion's
Are they the worst?
oh no, they're the generation, right?
Yep, Dominion, right. So just on when and I'll talk a little bit about some supplier issues to be aware of. So everyone's rates, unless you have locked a fixed price contract in before this, will be going up. And there's no secrets in what's happening. I'll talk about that in a second. Even those on fixed prices, we knew that we were going to be experiencing capacity shortages and price spikes. So even a 12-month price reflects the winter high pricing period. So why? What's driving our electric rates? And the short story is it's natural gas. Natural gas became more attractive for generating electricity in New England. And I'm going to talk a little bit about how much and show you some graphics to show you a visual to really give you a feel for how much generation now is produced by natural gas. We have tripled our portion of electricity since between 2000 and 2014 on generation from natural gas. And that's a double-edged sword. It is good because it has displaced some of our fossil fuel plants that were producing greenhouse gases, but it also has created a shortage for natural gas because at the same time that we were building new combined cycle gas plants for electricity, we were also switching to heating homes and businesses with natural gas, again, away from oil, heat, and propane or electric to natural gas. So we had kind of like these convergence of lots of good things, but also had ramifications that we're talking about tonight. And most importantly, there are no new additional pipelines to bring the gas into New England for decades. We have not seen new natural gas pipelines and upgrades to the infrastructure in a long time, and they're long overdue, which is why we're facing constraints, pipeline constraints during the winter. And this drives electricity prices through the roof. When you are prioritizing between heating homes and producing electricity with the fuel source of natural gas, the priority is for heating homes. So that's what's driving natural gas prices up, because the limited gas supply that we have has to go for heating homes before used for generating electricity. So for tonight, gas equals natural gas, not gasoline. Someone asked me in one of the meetings, I just read that gas prices are going down in Massachusetts. They're below $3. I said this is natural gas, not gasoline that you would fuel your vehicles with. So what's driving electricity? Prices, changes I talked about, changes in generation, that combined cycle plants become more efficient. So what you see here on this chart is you see coal as the top line over a period from 1950 through 2010. Coal was the predominant fuel source for New England for producing electricity, as well as some petroleum, not a lot of natural gas. And if you look at the graph, what you see is declining use of coal and rising use of natural gas. So the low oil prices during the 60s, combined with smog, spurred new additions to petroleum fire. So, for every reaction, there is a reaction, and for every reaction, there was a reaction. Basically, that was what was happening during that time, where you see petroleum products coming up. Then you had oil price shocks during the 1970s that led to an increased utilization of coal again. Then rapidly rising oil prices led many generators to switch to natural gas, and that's where we are right now. Coal coming down, petroleum down, and natural gas on the rise. So we also have seen a renewable portfolio standard. So there's not just gas. They are on the left of the chart here. You see what drives our prices, our environmental regulations. Prices are also going up because we require more renewables be included and embedded in the overall price for electricity. And renewables have not historically received the incentives that our fossil fuels have. So in Massachusetts, we passed the Renewable Portfolio Standard, which requires to have increasingly percentage usage of renewables as part of our electric supply, which I think is a good thing, but it is also impacting price. It's also driving demand. We've seen increases in solar significantly, especially here on Cape Cod. So where's the gas? I'm sure everybody has heard of Marcellus Shale. And if you see, this is a big picture of the United States. And the gas, the closest areas of natural gas for us are in the Pennsylvania, New York, and Ohio valleys. And it is the Marcellus Shale. They're frequently written about in the paper. That's what's driving the price of natural gas down. But where gas comes is it comes into, if you see right there in Texas, it's called the Henry Hub. That's where all of the natural gas, and where we get our gas from. We get our gas out of the Henry Hub, which is all the way in the southern United States. So it comes from Henry Hub up through the pipeline into the New England area. And so what you see here is a pie chart that talks about where we get our electricity from. So 46% of our electricity comes from natural gas, 33% from nuclear. And again, this pie chart dovetails with what you saw on the previous slide, with coal playing a very small part, as well as hydro. Good news, what you're seeing is other renewables, 8%. That's a significant increase, more than a doubling from the last time I looked at this slide. So you're starting to see renewables make inroads, and it's not just an other anymore, or as you can see, the pump storage, which is very small. So I put this together. What you see here are the two lines, the forward on-peak prices at the Mass Hub, which I talked about, I showed you in New England, so dollars per megawatt hour, and the natural gas prices. So electricity prices in green, and on the forward natural gas prices at the Algonquin City Gate, New England. And why I put this up here is it shows you how electricity prices track the price of natural gas. So that's what's driving electricity prices. Gas prices going up for us raise electricity prices. Why are gas prices going up? We have pipeline constraints, getting the gas We have competing resources, uses, home heating, business heating versus generating electricity. So, this shows what's the problem. Gas is cheap. The problem is, see that big pipeline, the Henry Hub going way up, and it gets narrower and narrower and narrower. We have a lack of new infrastructure in New England, and specifically in the southeast Massachusetts region, to bring natural gas to us so that we can benefit from that. And that just gives, you can see it's like a spider web of all gas pipelines that drive the movement of natural gas. There are lots of projects that are under construction or in the permitting phase that will hopefully, within the next few years, bring a relief in the constriction of getting natural gas to New England so that we can use it to produce electricity. But it's not going to be just the winter of 2014. We will likely see several winters, maybe 3 to 4 winters, of these high peak prices until we get new infrastructure and new gas. So again, you can see this shows you the different pipelines that come up. So that you saw the big picture in the other slide. And then I just broke it down here just to give you a feel for the different pipelines that are coming in. And you can see there's not a lot of them coming down towards Cape Cod. And you have, luckily, Everett Horn, who retired from the gas company, so he can, if you have any questions on the infrastructure that he worked with for years, I'm sure Everett would be happy to address them. And as I said, there are pipelines that are proposed, but I think we're looking at maybe 2018 before we will see those online. So just to reiterate, gas and electricity prices can skyrocket, especially during cold winters. So when you'll see the winter of 2012 and 2013 and 14, you've got wholesale electricity and natural gas still tracking each other, and huge spikes in price for both electricity and natural gas. So when you go out and purchasing, whether it's the Cape Cod Compact, NSTAR, or any private entity, they have forward-looking prices that expect this and include these types of price spikes in whatever offer you have for the price of electricity. The longer you can stretch out that spike, the less of an impact. So if you were buying electricity just for that period where it would be November 2013 to March 2014, you're up at 116 cents a kilowatt hour. But if you can smooth it out and flatten out the peaks and valleys, the better and the longer the prices. And that's what when anyone purchases, you go out and purchase in 6-month or 12-month blocks. You're taking the highs of the market and the lows and averaging them out and smoothing them out to come up with a price for electricity. So we talked about what might lower prices, more natural gas pipeline into the region, and warmer winters. Not likely to make a significant difference, but it also, it's a market. When you're projecting a polar vortex, you get the electricity, natural gas are commodities. People react to that, and it drives inflates prices. Efficiency and distributed generation are great ways to help insulate yourselves from the highs and lows of that market. Energy efficiency, which we're going to talk about for the rest of the presentation, on-site generation, PV on your home or your business if it's well suited and your building is situated correctly. And there are other technologies as well. So just to talk a little bit about suppliers. So because of volatile prices and other factors, looking ahead, you won't see a lot of competitive supply offers in the middle of the winter because they're only buying when the prices are very high. But what will happen is in the spring, as you can see the prices come down, March, April, May, June, you will have suppliers offering competitive products, which is a good thing. The only thing that we talk about is to make sure that you understand and read your terms and conditions of your contract and don't jump at something that has a fixed price for a short period of time and then switches to a variable rate. So those are terms that you should become familiar with, fixed pricing and then variable pricing, because what you don't want is you don't want to have a low price and then be put on to a market price when those spikes are incredibly, incredibly high. So be wary, be an informed consumer and a smart shopper. The Cape Light Compact is here to answer questions about the competitive market. So is the state of Massachusetts, DOER, offers advice, asked about changing law provisions, termination fees or exit fees and other penalties. And like anything, try and negotiate and see what you can do to achieve better contract terms. Because the devil in this industry, the devil's in the details, and the devil's in the contract that you would be signing. So if it's, again, general rule, if it seems too good to be true, it usually is, meaning that it has a hook, but it's not something consistent. So what can you do? I feel like I've talked about all the bad and negative things, so I'm going to turn it over to Phil to talk about what you can do as a consumer, as a homeowner, as a business owner, to help mitigate the impacts of high prices and volatile prices in the electricity market. So, Phil?
Thanks, Maggie. Everybody. So this is just, a depiction of a typical single-family home and how they spend their money on energy. You can see that a fair amount of it is spent on heating and air conditioning. And also, fairly significant pieces are spent on appliances and light and electronics, various electronics that you have in your home. And there are a number of things you can do to lessen the effects of these price spikes. One thing you can do for yourself without any of our direct help is we work with local retailers so that customers can go in and purchase energy efficient lighting for less money. And you can see, if you go to the MassAid website, you can get a list of those local retailers and figure out where you can shop for this light. So that's one means of helping to chill your bill. Another way to do it is if you have an extra second refrigerator or freezer, you can contact Jayco. They'll come and pick up the refrigerator or freezer for you, and they'll give you a $50 rebate check. So there are a couple of ways that you can do. You can help lower your electric bills without any of our direct help. I think a lot of our customers are pretty savvy, and they understand how they spend their money, and they're pretty well energy efficient on their own. But for folks who want to learn more about how they spend their money on, what they spend their money on with respect to energy, is they can go to the library and they can pick up a home energy detective kit. I thought there was a picture. Oh, there it is. So this is a picture of the device that you would get at the library, and you can use it to determine how much electricity various appliances use in your home.
And that's at the Sandwich Library.
That's at the Sandwich Library. But a really cool way to be your own detective is, this is an initiative that we're implementing now. It's a smart home monitoring device, and it's really effective, it's really intuitive. It gives you near real-time feedback about how you're using energy, what appliances you're using, and the effect that they have. So you can see this spike, so it shows where you're using energy, when you're using energy, and you can actually do kind of tests. And you can turn different appliances on and off and see the effect that they have on your energy usage. It's really, really good, really interesting. And there's an app that you can put on your phone where you can see your energy usage from remotely. Really, really good. And it's something that we're offering now. And again, all of everything that I'm talking about, you can find information about on our website. So you can go to Cape Light Compact, www.capelightcompact.org. You can find out more information about this initiative and all the programs that we offer. And you folks may have already had an energy assessment. But again, that's a great way to reduce your energy expenses. This is our busy time though, you know, as the temperature goes down, the demand for the home energy services program goes up. The wait time is about 3 or 4 weeks at this point. But you can call, you can get yourself in the queue, and Rise Engineering, you can coordinate with them, determine the best time for them to come out and do the audit. They'll come out, they'll do the audit for you, they'll replace all of your lighting with all the CFLs and 6 LEDs at this point. And they'll provide you with an assessment at the end of their audit, and it'll detail other things you can do to make your home more energy efficient. And the audit takes a few hours. There's a little bit of a time commitment there, but it's well worth it. They're really, really good. And this is another program for folks that it helps you to spread out the cost of the home energy improvements. So it's a 0% loan up to $25,000. It's up to a term of 7 years. And it's just a really good way of spreading out the costs. You're not increasing the costs. You're not having to pay any additional interest charges. It's a way to get the work done and spread out the cost over time. And we also have programs for income eligible programs for folks who make either 80% of the state median income or 60% of the state median income. And the incentives are a little bit richer for those folks to enable them to do what they need to do to make their home more energy efficient. And then our website also has contact information for these folks. For example, for fuel assistance, they can call South Shore Community Action Council. They can call NSTAR for their electric discount rate, et cetera, et cetera. It's, our website has a lot of information about our programs and also additional information for folks to help them, again, reduce their costs and their expenses. And that is it. So I have a handout, folks, and this is just a little more information about the behavioral initiative.
So is that a pilot? That's really cool. I haven't heard of that.
Yes.
Yes, it is.
It's a pilot, and I actually just finally signed up on my phone because I have an electrically heated home. So it's this program's energy efficiency program is very near and dear to my heart, and I'm very conscious of everything that we do and how I use electricity in our house, what we unplug and we're pretty, for all electrically heated homes, it's a regular Kate, ranch. This has been very helpful because it really will demonstrate. I just did the peak where it last, because now it's going to take forever to get to the week. But it shows you pretty static usage. That was today's, it does 15-minute intervals. It can tell you, did you leave the heat on? Are your kids home and they're doing, they've got the microwave on, the washer, the dryer, and everything else. And, of course, it's not going to work right now, but it'll show you the whole week. You can see where I turned the heat on the 10th. Tuesday night it was cold, and I was out. Yeah.
So there's no cost in the demonstration?
Yeah, there's no additional cost. That is really cool. It's very intuitive.
So we actually offer technical assistance. It's just a device. It's not technically inclined device. It's literally one on the outside of the meter. The harder part was doing the web stuff, but it followed the instructions, got it online. Where we're going with this is ultimately there will be time variable rates. So for businesses, residentials, that will get signals that will have price incentives for what if you shifted your laundry or the dishwasher. You didn't run it in the dead of summer until you put it on when you went to bed, it went on 1 o'clock in the morning or 5 in the morning.
And I think isn't
No,
there
you
an
want to do a
add-on?
second meeting.
But, yeah. So that's, hopefully, there is a DPU docket that these issues will be coming out. We will be playing with those, this is a behavior pilot, so we'll be sending signals to see how the participants, if we can offer a $10 incentive, can we actually do email? So this is how it would work, is you would get an email if this was fully implemented, that would say, tomorrow we're expecting a really hot day in the summer, and it's going to drive prices up. So we want to be able to shift load, our peak load, and if you would participate and actually see if we can, because we can see if we can actually lower your electricity use, and then be compensated for it. And because it's a pilot, it's a very small. So you can see that's the week. I've only been doing this a week, but you can see where I was. If you tap on this anywhere, it tells you what your peak was, and then upside down. So then it was, today it was 5 o'clock in the morning, so the heat was set at 58 or 59, and the heat came on, because it was 58 degrees, and then it was on for, a half an hour, and then it went off. But you can see what's happening in my house, or, who's doing laundry. It's pretty steady state until you heat, and then it goes. So again, if you're interested, participating, call and sign up. There's no cost for participation. It just gives you a window into what's happening in your house, and also to see whether or not you are interested when we get to the point where we have time variable rates for your home or your business, if you would like to participate in that.
Question. It says you have to be willing to self-install the monitor, kind of like what you were saying earlier. Could I self-install it, or is
Yeah.
it really complicated?
No, it was very easy to install. I had a harder time with the whole web thing, kind of following the directions. Okay, that was harder for me than it went right on.
My part of the process was,
Did you do
we
yours?
we tested it and we worked, there were some bugs obviously, but now you can do it.
Right, and then if there's ever an issue, that's why you call us back.
Yep.
And we'll help you if you're like, I couldn't get it done, so it's easy. And it's not, you're not touching anything, any circuits, or you're not getting electrocuted. It literally goes like, if that was your meter, the clock, it's just, it just sits right on the top of it.
Yeah.
So-
And is that
Mail it to yourself?
That's what I was-
Yes,
Yep.
it gets mailed FedEx, was delivered FedEx in a box, opened it up, it's sat on my table for 3 weeks. Finally got it installed. But it's very interesting to see, what's going on and what's happening and what drives electricity usage. Is it your dishwasher that really
Right.
spikes it up? And you start to understand, and again, this is preparing us for a time when we will hopefully have that ability to shift our usage and be compensated, rewarded for it.
I used to at one time have hot water heater on a meter when I lived on an off-peak. It just wouldn't go on. It wouldn't care how much water you used. You weren't getting more until that next.
Yes, the old
Yeah.
meters, yeah.
Yeah, but every time the power went out, it really screwed it up. So you knew what was going on.
Yeah, the old meters.
Yeah. It was good, pretty cool though.
So yes, if you're interested, we'd love it. We have a goal. We haven't achieved the goal for participants, so give us a call. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Any questions? Has anybody had an audit?
I should probably have another one.
I was just gonna ask that, so you can do it every year.
Every year you can call and have an audit, and the rebates change. The rebates change, technology changes. Like 3 years ago, LEDs were not part of your assessment. And, heating systems change, cooling, our furnaces, that's for the heat loan that Phil talked about. If you have to replace any of your heating systems, you would need an audit in order to be eligible for the heat loan. But the heat loan's a great way to get some high efficiency equipment installed at a zero interest, because we use the energy efficiency dollars to buy down the interest rate. So it's a 7-year zero interest loan. So if you've got a heating system that's failing, or been nursing along, it's at the end of its life, that's a good time.
I have a question on the heat one. So if you, because I saw you can use it for a solar hot water system,
Yes.
correct? are you still eligible for the rebates if you go through the heat loan program?
I believe so, yes.
Okay.
Yep, they want to work together.
You actually either get the rebate taken off the loan amount, they'll do that.
Oh.
So your loan will be like $3,000 less.
Yes.
Nice. Just like solar.
Yeah.
Awesome, thank you.
You're welcome. Well, thanks for having us. We really
Thank you.